don't know about you, but I'm cold. I don't suppose we could take a shorter route today, huh? Why do you always wrap around me? Can't you just stay to the left or the right? Come on, man, keep up. I'm cold. Good morning, folks. All I can say is Georgia is cold as a booger. Georgia is as cold as a cold booger right now. And he doesn't want to walk. He wants to explore and smell bushes and, you know, whatever they do. Always appreciate you all coming in. Oh man, you're stuck in the sticker bush. Come on out of there. Always appreciate you guys. First thing in the morning. So it's been about I guess 2 weeks now that I've been broadcasting every morning pretty close to the same time, I think. But I wanted to give this this platform an opportunity, the idea of broadcasting every day. So I've been following these guys who have these real big professional channels where they got all these members and stuff, and you know, they're doing really good. And one of the things they talk about is broadcasting consistently. And I'm supposed to be promising you guys a broadcast delivery and then keeping that promise. And I haven't done that yet because it is hard as Hades to broadcast every day. And it's hard to keep that schedule. It's hard to make that schedule. And if you're going to promise, then you got to do it. So I haven't said anything. I just figured, let me broadcast the same time, or let me broadcast every morning, and then see if I could do a daily cast. It's easy to do a daily cast when you do it live, because you just shoot it and it is what it is. But if you're doing broadcasting where you got to edit, so you probably need, I would say, 7 minutes of editing time for every 1 minute you broadcast, or something like that. For every 1 minute of video, you probably need 5 minutes or 7 minutes of editing time until you really get good at it. So it's really difficult to, if you're going to be editing, to broadcast every day. So that's why I've been doing the live broadcast, and you haven't seen me in my studio, because I can actually do this. But you'll notice there won't be any covers on them, no thumbnails, so it doesn't really get the full effect because it's just not quite right, but we're working on it. So I hope to get a crew. I've got several people that I have been interviewing. I hope to get a crew and some better equipment, and you guys will see a marked improvement in the channel as I get that crew together. Of course, I'm always taking volunteers. There's a lot of you guys out there that know this business way better than I do. So that being said, there are a few things that we're doing differently on the channel. So we're instituting a no cursing policy, as I have discovered that there are children watching this channel. So we have a no cursing policy, and we have a no, and I mean no cursing in the comments either. If you're going to be cursing in my comments, you're going to find yourself deleted off the page. So if you guys want to fight, you can fight with each other all you want. You just won't be cursing while doing it. So find some interesting ways to abbreviate your curse words. This is not just me, this is YouTube wide. YouTube is having this revolution called adpocalypse. And they are demonetizing channels and getting rid of bad behavior. So I don't want to be one of those people who gets your channel shut down based on something some idiot said in my comments. So all of you trolls, and there are some out there, go find another channel to troll. Alrighty. Get a hold of me. Black Dragon at Black Sabbath MC. That is my direct email. You can also go to Facebook. Black Dragon Biker, I think it is. There's going to be a link in the description, and there's always a link in the About section on this page. Then I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have Snapchat, I have Marco Polo, and I'm almost done with my Vines. So those are all the ways to get a hold of me. It's either going to be John E. Bunch II, jbunchii, or Black Dragon. So, like I say, up there and down there, those are the ways to get a hold of me. All right. President for life. I got a message this morning about someone, and if you guys are talking to me, I can't see it. Somebody's got to call me. As you know, my phone is, sometimes it'll show me your comments, and sometimes it won't. So, right now it won't. So, somebody who knows me will call me in a few minutes, perhaps. And then as soon as I get that call, all of a sudden, it interrupts the phone, and then I can see you. So for right now, I can't see the comments. Today, the dog has decided he wants to walk free in the dog park. So he lets me know that by coming over here. And then I take him off of the leash, and he walks around. And I don't get to walk, so he's doing his thing. And we will start walking again as soon as he decides he doesn't want to walk free anymore. So here we are. It's crisp and clear in Georgia, about 29 degrees. Beautiful day, beautiful mountains, beautiful scenery. Last night, someone sent me an interesting text message or email, Instagram message, whatever message it was. And they said, our president has just declared himself president for life. Dear Black Dragon, are people able to do that? And what can we do about it? So I've seen this before. This is not the focus. So one of my people called me. It was actually one of my people from Colorado Springs, one of my Black Sabbath. So it always makes me feel good to know my own brothers are watching. And holy moly, 44 of you guys so far have been talking to me. How long should someone really prospect? The answer is the prospect should never ask that question ever. If my prospect comes to me and asks me how much longer do I have to prospect, then I probably add 2 months right then in my mind. You should prospect until your brothers feel it is appropriate to vote you into the club, and they will let you know. Now that typically in 99% clubs, I see something like a 3-month prospectship. That's written in a lot of people's bylaws, a minimum of 3 months. But I've seen it take years. In my case, it took almost 5 years. And that's, I had troubles, obviously. But those of you who sent me messages before, send them now so I don't have to scroll up. Because now it's coming so fast I can't scroll. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Prospect should never ask. That's what OG Miklo says. I'm working on a crew. You guys are talking to each other now, right? Greetings to Malaysia. Man, every day, every morning now. So what time is it in Malaysia right now? What are you guys, 6, 7 hours ahead? So good morning to you all. First rule of prospecting, don't ask. Paul Stacker said, first rule of prospecting, don't ask how long to prospect. Good morning, Jeff Hayes from the UK. So like I say, we've seen this before, this president for life thing, and I see it mostly coming from founders. Good morning, Jeff Hayes in the United Kingdom. 10 o'clock p.m., Nicholas. Well, thanks for being up with us so late. Nicholas is over there in Malaysia. That's really cool. I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good. S-Blaze, SAS Blaze 2017. So, typically I see this coming from founders. Founders of motorcycle clubs, founders of social clubs, first-time presidents. So I can tell you that being president is both the greatest thing to happen and the worst thing to happen. I have a faded patch on my black jean jacket vest that says leadership sucks. Okay, it looks like he's ready to walk now. See how he looks at me. He always looks back at me. I guess you're ready to walk now? Oh my goodness, that dog is funny. He goes to the gate and then he looks back at me. Like, excuse me, you're not on your P's and Q's. So, typically I see this coming from founders and presidents and first-time presidents. This idea that they want to be president for life. And I can tell you that being president of a motorcycle club is both one of the coolest things you could ever do and one of the suckiest things you can ever do. And I have a faded patch on my black jean jacket. People often say, what does that patch say? And I'm going to get it remade. I just haven't found anyone to remake it yet. And it says, leadership sucks. That's what it says. But there are people who take great pride in being the boss. Good morning to Tennessee. Got $1 a month coming to you. Thank you. Someone supported my Patreon. $1 a month, $2 a month, 50 cents a month. Every penny helps, and I certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys can also hit that dollar button right there, which is a super chat. Send me $3, $4, $5. Help me buy some new cameras. Certainly appreciate it. President for life would not be as cool as it sounds, because that would keep the MC fresh and up to date. But with no chance of a new prez, you couldn't do that. Before you can sign off, can you please see my wife? Won't let me buy a motorcycle. Oh my goodness. I don't have my cowboy hat on. Good morning, thanks for the great videos. Been on the set for 5 years. Well, good morning. So I've seen this before, this president for life. And it normally comes from these interesting people who set up new motorcycle clubs. I will tell you that there are some old motorcycle clubs I've seen that happen in. Some really old school motorcycle clubs. And they've been around 40 years and they've had the same president 40 years. So it's not unheard of. And it does happen. But in a traditional MC that's operating on man, these woods are kind of iffy. Paul Stacker, $2. Thank you, sir. Thank you. My Patreon is Black Dragon NP. Black Dragon NP. NP is for National President. Sometimes my signal goes out here in the woods. I apologize for that. I was saying, I have seen this happen in old school motorcycle clubs. They've been around 40 years. And they're still the president, and I suppose that works well for them. But in the style that I was brought up in motorcycle clubs, what I consider a traditional motorcycle club. Now, not everybody considers what I consider to be traditional. Not everybody agrees with me. So every time I tell you something, there might be about 24,000 other interpretations. We lost you when you said a traditional MC. So, yeah, that's what I thought. So when good to see you, Rebel Soul. Have a good day at work. Oh heck, thank you, Darren. Man, this is a good day for me. I'm making some money. That's cool. You guys will see it when I get my drone. I'm gonna show it to you all. I'm gonna get my drone this way, puppy. When I get my drone, I'm gonna show it to you all, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, we paid for that." So, the traditional motorcycle club that operates in the way that I was trained in is that the MC is a democratic society. It's kind of interesting though. It's in the 60s, the MCs took over a militaristic type of structure, in that returning vets from Vietnam coming into MC life, brought with them some of the nomenclatures that we know: road captains, kind of like jump masters, the setup for the presidents and the top councils and things like that. So they added a militaristic kind of flavor to it, to where a president has some autocratic kind of responsibilities and powers. Presidents are very powerful in motorcycle clubs. Sometimes they can become too overpowering and too dominant, like in any organization, and they get away with things, and they begin to get corrupt. So even though presidents have wide-ranging powers and can make a lot of things happen, presidents are not omnipotent despots that get to control everything that goes on in the MC by their willpower alone. Now, many MCs let that happen, but that's not how it should happen. Good morning, Matthew. LOL at YouTube chapter. Good morning, Matthew. Good to see you. Morning, telemetries. Good morning, Signwinder. Discuss term average limits, please. Okay, you guys are taking me there. So a motorcycle club is a society that does have leaders that have power, but that power is specifically addressed in the bylaws. But the overall leadership of a motorcycle club is still democratic. So you have to be able to vote in a traditional MC. You got to vote on what's going on, and if you're not voting on what's going on, you don't have what I call a traditional MC. We just had an election in our MC. Let's see, BSYTCFFBS. LOL, Black Sabbath. YouTube chapter forever. No, absolutely not. We are not Black Sabbath YouTube MC. We're not doing that. All we're doing is having a discussion, my friends. We will not have a motorcycle club by internet. How would we ride? What would we get? Like gameplay on one of these game playing consoles? When we all hook them up together, turn our phones on, and ride in formation. Okay, we all have to pick a street that's the same length long. Each person's given his virtual spot. No. You guys want to ride with the Black Dragon? Come on. and go with me on the cold ash run so you can become a Snow Bear disciple and wear the Snow Bear disciple patch and ride with the hard riding nomads of the Black Sabbath MC Nation. You can do that. See what you can do as we ride from Atlanta to the mother chapter, San Diego, California. You can do that. We can ride together all day long for days and days and days. 2 weeks actually, 10 days. So that's the only way we're doing that. But in the motorcycle club there's voting, and you have to vote in order to have what I call a traditional MC. Monsoon rains. Well, we have the Poseidon's patch for that. Poseidon's disciples. 5 states of rain, monsoon-like. So we got a patch for you too, brother. So we think about this when somebody comes up with this idea that what they want to be is president for life. Now, listen, if all the brothers get together in the MC and they have that vote, then it is absolutely cool. You are president for life. It's been voted on. All the brothers agree. Dude, hail to you. Hail Emperor. But if one human being comes out with, I'm the founder and I'm the president for life, get the heck out of here, man. Go try that on some rookies. But I can tell you how some of these people enact some of those crazy ideas. One of the things they do is they go and I've done a video on this before, they go and they put the copyright on those colors. And in my book, Prospects Bible, one of the chapters I have, it says, who owns your MC? And that will let you know whether you're being shammed or not. The idea that I don't think so, brother. You're gonna go right under that log, and here I am. I knew it. Okay, wait. All right, let's go. Oh shit. You got me tangled up in gotcha vines. Falling all over the place here. Hold on, let me catch my breath now. Stop looking at me. Okay, so now it's starting to get warm. He picked hills today, so it's got me falling all over the place and it's getting warm. Okay, man, we're doing it. Let's see, $2 from, thank you, sir. Dayton, Ohio. Appreciate your Patreon, brother. Okay, well, what did I miss? President for life equals narcissistic. Oh, here we go. Narcissistic dictator type mentality, which we know comes a lot if frustration for the members. So, Prospect 36, Wichita chapter, Black Sabbath. Good morning. Good morning, Prospect 36. Be seeing you soon, man. Black Sabbath forever. So, we see these guys, what they kind of do. They will go down and they will take out a copyright on the colors. That's step one. And in my book, Prospects Bible, I ask, in the chapter, I say, who owns your motorcycle club? Who owns it? And the best way I can explain this idea is when I went to Hollywood and made the movie Biker Boys, the director, Reggie Rock Bythewood, taught me an amazing lesson. When I was telling him, man, I don't think I know how to do a movie, he told me, he said, well, you write a magazine. You're the editor of a magazine. You're the editor-in-chief of a motorcycle magazine, so you know how to tell stories. The difference is, when you write a book or a magazine article or a magazine, it's you, one person, telling the story. You're in control of it all. It's your vision and your dream. But when you write a movie, you write a story that other people tell. So it becomes our vision and our dream. This way. It becomes a vision and a dream that all of the tellers of the story share. So it's no longer your work product, it's our work product. So you may write about a plumber, but the lead actor goes and discovers what plumbers do. And you might not write that a plumber always puts his tool bag on the left-hand side because they lay on the ground on their right side. You might not ever know that. But this actor has gone into great detail to discover what it takes to be a plumber and portray that on TV or in your film. So have no fear because you don't have the total control. Everybody's contributing. So this is what happens when you start a motorcycle club. When you're a biker, it's all you. You determine where you go. You determine how you ride. You determine where to take a stop. You determine how you're going to, are we going to sleep outside? Am I going to sleep outside today or in a hotel? Am I going to ride in the cold? How much money am I going to allot? You can even have your own biker clubhouse of just you. But once you call it a motorcycle club, it belongs to us all. It's no longer just your vision. And it may not any longer go in the direction or the path which you want it to go. Because it becomes a we, a collective, an us. Not just an I, but an our. And that's why I wear my we t-shirt. Where I always talk about, or my we hoodie, or my we sweatshirt. Because as the founder of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation, Father Paul Pep Perry, said, stop talking about mine, I, me, and start talking about we. We. Speak a little French. We means yes. We means we can. Ours, all of us. Everybody contributing. There's no motorcycle clubs of one. There are motorcycle clubs where one guy's doing damn near everything. And that's not a motorcycle club. That's an unhappy situation. And that's what I talk about and how we can stop those things from happening. But there are no motorcycle clubs of one. There are only motorcycle clubs of us's. We's. I'm going to go get my brothers on you and you show up by yourself. No power there. So this idea of president for life, it a lot of times tracks right on back to this idea that we want to be I. I want to control everything, everybody, every direction. And that's not what people sign up for motorcycle clubs for. They don't sign up for that. They don't sign up to be treated like that. They don't sign up to not count. Okay, I'll not count as a prospect. I'm a full patch brother here. I run a factory, distribution chains and supply chains, and we're talking about food and distribution. And you, President, you are an aircraft mechanic, and you want to talk about supply chains and distribution, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Well, now we got to do it your unsuccessful way because you are the boss. There are no bosses in motorcycle clubs because in 99% of motorcycle clubs, there ain't no paychecks. Nobody handing out, no, you can't be the boss of me. You're not handing out no paychecks. So you can't tell folks what to do. You can get a group of folks together and decide how we're gonna do this thing. But you giving out wolf tickets, and I see some of these presidents, they get really crazy. Like, I sit in a meeting and the president reached down and slapped a cat in the mouth. And boy, it was a young prospect, and I saw him get toe up. Like, bro, you talking to grown men here. And I'll never forget when the Hogman of the Black Sabbath, the story about him tearing up a president who decided that they would talk to him crazy. So this is kind of what we do. Proud to say MC elected me to be a national officer to rep the club. I credit Dragon for a lot of this. He's the real deal. I just picked that out. I wasn't reading that because of that. Thank you for such kind words. But if your club picked you, bro, you're the real deal. And that's the bottom line. But congratulations to you and your national officership. Get ready for heavy rolls, we used to say in the Navy. Get ready for heavy seas, bro. It can be a cakewalk out here, but nah, not much. But congratulations to you. How can you rep if you're always at the Mickey D's? Oh, somebody, I don't know who that was. Sidewinder said he subbed to me. I knew nothing before this channel. You knew something. I believe it. So let me scroll up. I missed a lot of stuff when I was stumbling through those woods back there. Okay, I didn't really miss anything. All right, cool. Thank you for subscribing. So Raz subscribed to Sidewinder. I guess we got to go look at Sidewinder's channel. And Sidewinder BJJ. We'll go look at your channel, dude. So the presidents for life, or people that I've seen that have tried to be president for life, many times what I've seen is, I remember this one girl of a social club. She told me she was the president, and I said, so you're gonna be the president for life? She said, well, no, I won't be the president for life. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure to get everything in my name, like the name of the club or anything like that, and have it all my copyright, my patent, my trademark. So if they ever take a direction I don't like, I can come back in and shut their behinds down. What kind of biker jacket is this? This is not a biker jacket. This is a ski jacket, man. Bikers don't wear this riding, but I do wear it walking through the woods. Where do I get these people from? What kind of biker jacket does it look like? It's a First Gear parka biker jacket from First Gear Parka Division, and we wear this when we're doing motorcycle rides through Antarctica. You should get you one. So in any event, what we like to see is we like to see the ability for members to take an active role in their motorcycle clubs, an active role in the decisions. And what's up, Croatia? I don't know how to say her name. Kokot. I think I got the last part right. Kokot. I'm gonna put this in Google and get the right pronunciation before I destroy it. No offense, I thought this was about bikers. This is very much about motorcycle clubs. And there are bikers in motorcycle clubs. So this is a motorcycle club discussion channel, and sometimes I ride on my motorcycle and discuss, sometimes I'm in my studio and discuss, and sometimes I walk through the woods and discuss. So if the kind of clothing I'm wearing takes away from my message, then probably shouldn't listen to the message. Moving forward. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get skinny. Still working on it. So the idea about this president for life. A lot of times, guys feel like they're the only ones that can do it. And you guys do that to them. You do that to them because you make them the only one that can do it. And so you get mad at them when they start acting like they have all the power that you've given them because you sat on your rusty butt and you haven't done anything. And now you want to be mad when he says, you know what? Hell with it. You guys are all inept and incompetent, and I'm going to be the president for life. That happens too. Believe it or not, this coat is about 14 years old, and it has been a good coat. But it can be 14 years old because Georgia doesn't get cold. So I only use it when I go skiing, which has been a long time. So when you give the president too much power because of your inaction, when the president says, I need someone that's volunteer for committee to do blah, 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 and no hands go up. When the president says, we can't make the rent, and I need an extra $50 for each of you for the clubhouse, no hands go up. Man, it's Christmas, man. You know I gotta, man. So he's coming out of $500 out of his pocket. Not this month, but for about 6 months this year. So all of a sudden he starts taking more and more power because you start giving him more and more power from your inaction, lack of action, sorry attitude, and general poor esprit de corps. I have several motorcycles. I ride a Victory Vision most of the time. Victory Vision by Victory, the greatest motorcycle makers of all time, who decided to stop making Victories to push a damn car called a motorcycle. Please don't take me there. Somebody says they have an FJR 1300, nice motorcycle. Good morning, Desmond, Texas. So other things we got to talk about when it comes to this president for life thing. If that happens in your motorcycle club, that's because you let it. But I remember I tell people in my book Prospects Bible, who owns your motorcycle club? And that's something you should consider before you join a motorcycle club. If the motorcycle club is owned by the motorcycle club, if the name is in the name of the Black Dragon, then you don't have a motorcycle club. If the name is in the name of the Black Sabbath, then you're in the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. It's that simple. Now, sometimes clubs are getting started. People have to put stuff in their own names. They got to put clubhouses in their own names, and on and on and on. And that's acceptable. That's what you got to do. But as the club starts to get to the point that it is solvent and it's making money and it can put a few dollars in the bank, one of the first things you want to do is get the paperwork together so that the club is incorporated and it belongs to everyone. It has a board. A lot of you guys just want to ride, and that's what you should do. You should just ride. You shouldn't start motorcycle clubs. Motorcycle clubs they're business entities in terms of how the law works. And I can remember my first many years in the motorcycle club. I don't even know what happened to the dues and things like that. If the dues disappeared, I wouldn't know. All I wanted to do was ride. I paid my dues and I rode and chased women. And the motorcycle club house was still there. So I don't know who paid for it. He's also got a Rockstar RV. One of them big brown and black expensive bastards with slide outs everywhere. We're not supposed to be cursing anymore. Yeah, that thing does have, I was proud of the slide outs. When I'm a big guy, so I wanted one with the slide outs. So that was one of my criteria. I want more slide outs, and they have them out there that you can have. But the expense in an RV is not buying the RV itself. Oh no. The expense in the RV is getting that MF fixed one time. And that will make you break down and cry. In fact, if it wasn't for strictly business, one of the brothers in one of my chapters, former national business manager, if it weren't for that guy being capable of fabricating, welding, fixing, refixing, if it weren't for that guy, I would have scrapped that RV a long time ago and sent it to the junk heap yard. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm missing some of you guys. Let's see. I'm new to riding. I have a Triumph Bonneville T120 I rebuilt. Oh, that's nice. I'm building a 72. I love you guys that can build things. So, I look for a vote for everything major that the club does. The way a club is supposed to operate is the bylaws give what we call intrinsic or stated rights and responsibilities to people who hold an office. So like we know that the Sergeant at Arms is supposed to bring the meeting to order. We don't have to take a vote on that. We know he's responsible for the president's safety. These are things we don't have to take a vote on. We know that the president is the mouthpiece of the organization and he does this, this, and this. We know that the road captain is the president while the motorcycle club's on the road. There are things you don't have to take a vote for. These are responsibilities given to you by your bylaws that tell you what you have to do. But when it comes to things that have a greater value, things that are going to affect us all, things that are not day-to-day functions, these things are supposed to be taken up with a vote. Now, this idea of president for life, I always see this heaped on motorcycle clubs. It comes up one day, especially when people are tired of your butt as the president, and they start whispering about a vote. And so many presidents get scared about votes. I don't get scared about that anymore. You got someone who thinks they can do it, let's give them a year. Let's give them a couple sessions. I have seen more guys that were president this year that are not president next year. And who's president next year? Oh, the guy that's been doing it for 10 years. Why? It takes a hardcore person to deal with babysitting you guys all the time. Babysitting you guys is tough. It requires patience and time. Now, my phone rings around the clock. It could be 2 in the morning. Somebody from California, it's only 10 or 11, 12 back there. Maybe 1. It's not as late. They're calling you to tell you somebody fell off their motorcycle. It's 24/7. And you have to get up and you got to think and make things right. Somebody beat up their wife. Somebody got arrested by the police. And the club is expected, because it's a brotherhood, right? So the club is expected to have a response for everything that happens. Somebody's mom died, somebody's kid got in a fight at school. That person claims That person's father says, I'm going to get my gang after you. Your brother responds back, well, I'm getting my motorcycle club. And you get a phone call. Roll now. We got to be at such and such middle school. Such and such middle school? What, the kids are revolting? We got to go kill the kids? It's crazy. So, there's a lot to be president. And I always like to smile at people who say they want to try it. But the idea that you would inflict your club with this idea that you can never be replaced. You are the best for the job forever. And you can never be replaced until you die. And no one has any better ideas than you. And no one can do anything better. No one can tell you anything. You put this together, you started it, it's your baby, but it's everybody's story. The sergeant at arms is giving everything he can to be the best sergeant at arms he can be, and he wants to step up the ladder. And what we should be doing as presidents is we should be training people. We should be teaching those around us how to do it. We should be taking prospects. One day, bro, you're going to be a president. I expect every one of my prospects to be a president. If not for the chapter you're in, for the chapter you're going to go start. As you join the military and go see the world, maybe you start our chapter in Malaysia. As you go do your thing, maybe you start our chapter in the next state over or the next city over. Somebody said I appointed myself Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Forces in my club. They let me have that title. We got to have the video about motorcycle club titles. It's really great. I put some serious mileage on that bike. Okay, you guys are talking about something else. So, most clubs should not have a president for life. Most clubs should have a vote and let that be decided by the members. If such a thing is in your bylaws, then that's what you agreed to, and that's where you are. If a president just steps out one day and says, I'm president for life, that's not in your bylaws, you haven't voted for that and you don't agree that, then that's on you if you let that crap happen. If you don't teach your replacement to replace you, then you don't care about the we, and you don't care about the MC. How does a motorcycle club make money other than dues? Oh, brother, that's a whole video. But there's so many ways to make money in a motorcycle club with a motorcycle club. You got all these people with all these different minds and all these businesses and all this information. So there's a lot of information out there. A lot of things that you can do to make money as a motorcycle club. That's a video I've got to do for you. Anyway, that's my time. The thing I want to close with is, now this isn't for everybody, but most of the time, people that put out stuff like that, they're not thinking about we. They're thinking about their own desperate reach at a power grab. And they want to be the power of the Supreme Allied Commander. And they want to be unquestionable. And they want to be the leader for life. And they want to do that on your back at the expense of your motorcycle club. And you absolutely need to shut that crap down and not let them get away with it. It's silly. It's saying that I don't trust the people around me to grow and assimilate and become good enough to carry that position. But it also means other things. Like I'm getting old, I'm becoming non-relevant, and I understand those feelings. Look for something else to do. Start a YouTube channel and teach people what you know. Write a book and spread your information. There are other ways to become relevant and still help people and still lead people and still put out a respectful tone. And when the motorcycle club needs you, they'll call, because you've done it before and you know how it works. Anyway, are there any lone wolf guys trying to fit in among your club members? I often wonder how the lone wolf works. What happens is the lone wolf becomes almost a brother. They hang around the motorcycle club, they go on the rides, they're in the clubhouse every Friday night. You see them so much, you would swear to God they're your brother. Until such time as it's time to have the meeting, and then they have to go outside. And as soon as the meeting is over, they come back in. And I've had those guys be around the Black Sabbath Nation for 20, 30 years. And then maybe one day, 25 years later, they finally say, ah, man, all right, I'll do it. And maybe they get voted in. Maybe they get to prospect and get voted in. They know your motorcycle club as well as anybody because they've been around it since the inception. It's kind of funny, but that's the way it is. All right, we'll talk some more another time. Black Dragon signing off. Be sure to get skinny.